Well, folks, it's official. Can't find my camera, nor can I remember the last time I saw it, nor can I remember the last time I used it. So, we're using this, which is fine. Might actually be better quality since I bought that camera eons ago. Shoot, am I not allowed to flip the video mid? I don't know how to do anything. Fudge. So, what the goal is today is to take this, not this shelf, this bottom shelf of my bookshelf, is all books that I own but haven't read yet. What I'm going to do is organize them into different categories. So, for example, we've got two books here. This one, Kingdom of Ordinary Time, which I just finished by Marie Howe. This is a book of poetry. And then this will be another category, Water by the Spoonful. I haven't read this, even though my playwriting teacher says that we were supposed to read it for class. That definitely can't be true because then I would have read it. So plays are another category. And then The Bell Jar. This is going to go under books that will slay me. What I failed to mention, so there's these books stacked in front, and then these, I gotta move these out of the way, these books behind, and then behind these books, you can probably already see, is an entire another row of books. So, I'm gonna make a prediction right now about how many books there are. So I'm going to guess how many books are total, guess how many books I'm going to get rid of off the TBR total. Stay tuned. I forgot to make my predictions. Okay, total prediction 127. Books I'm giving away 5. I'm back. It's only been 2 weeks, a couple of attempted filming times, but here we are, ready to do the deed. But I'm going to start with the books that I decided that are never going to make it to the top of my list, so I'm dumping them from my TBR. My estimate, if I have it correctly, was 5, and I ended up with 7. So, Watermelon was a gift. Not really interested in domestic divorce or marriage stories. Wow, I really have to fix my posture. Next, we have Luminous Airplanes. Next, we have Disturbed Earth. Then I have this, Danya. Next, I have Again But Better by Christine Riccio, which I bought right away because there's a signed copy and I was afraid it was going to sell out. And I followed her whole book writing journey, and it was so exciting, and she seems like a super nice, charismatic person. But then I mistakenly watched all the reviews come out, and I think I jumped the gun in buying it anyway. It's a little lighter than what my general preferences are. Okay, and then, so that's my 5, and then the 2 that I added afterwards, well, the book sat on my floor. So, one of the books that I'm getting rid of is Stephen King Firestarter, but I do believe in giving every author at least one chance. So it's not that I don't plan on reading Stephen King, it's that maybe I don't plan on reading Stephen King. And then finally, I'm getting rid of Crooked Kingdom don't hate me. I never finished it. Let's see. I got halfway through. I feel like I would not only have to reread this, but like probably reread the first one in order to fully grasp like what's going on in here, and I really don't want to do that. And I think the thing that made me keep it so long, I really wanted to read when Jesper and Wyland finally got together, but I never got to that part, so I might have to suffer because I'm giving this book away. Don't even introduce myself in the beginning of this. Editing Michelé is gonna have to like do a whole host of like crap I didn't talk about in here. My one graphic novel, Valerian. I have this thing for like bad sci-fi movies, so I have the graphic novel, but I haven't read it yet. So there's that, and then here, these three are poetry, which is much more than I thought. It doesn't sound like many, but I've already read 2 this year, so you guys are gonna think I read a lot of poetry. I don't. This is a mess. It's just propped on a bunch of books, so it's probably moving with my elbows. Okay, the next 2 stacks are this one. It's such a niche category of books. This is adult, gay, male-male romances that are specifically emotionally resonant. So the Song of Achilles, I mean, if you know the origin story of Achilles at all, it doesn't end well. Andre Osman wrote my favorite book of all time. His stuff notoriously does not end well. Not that these are categorized by bad endings. It's very hard to explain. And then this one, At Swim Two Boys, is a famous Irish book, I believe. But so these are ones that I'm kind of assuming are gonna kick me in the balls. So there's that. And then on the flip side, these are all the books I have that are specifically lighthearted. Literally, there's 5. Okay, so this stack is specifically romance. I guess this could be a second lighthearted stack. The Red, White, and Royal Blue, a little something different. Someday, Maybe by Lauren Graham. Since You've Been Gone. This Is What Happy Looks Like. Love Walked In. I know this has to do with a coffee shop. By The Book, which I think has to do with a bookstore, which I'm always here for. And then Exit West. So there's that stack. And then we have this little baby 2-book stack is my erotica. This, all of these, and these, you can guess, are plays. This is fantasy, sci-fi, speculative fiction, yada yada yada. Pretty much anything that's not contemporary. Okay. Well, I'm out of breath. I'm literally crossing my room. So, okay, now we have all of my nonfiction. This I was so surprised by because this is nonfiction that's not memoir. This is memoir. This is not memoir. And like, if you asked me, I would be like, what books could I possibly own that are nonfiction but not memoir? And then this is my memoir stack, which is 10 books, which I really like memoirs, but again, this is more than I thought that I would already own. Okay, so this stack is a giant mofo, although that might be because of War and Peace is on the bottom. I don't know if you can guess what this is based on the fact that War and Peace is on the bottom, or the giant letters that say Little Women. This is my stack of classics. Again, way more than I thought I was going to have as far as classics go. And then, this stack, which is short story collections, except this is just a book of quotes. Here are the 2 Stephen King books I told you that I would tell you about. I don't know if I'm actually the kind of person that gets creeped out by reading stuff. I probably am. Get creeped out by my own thoughts. So we're going to try these. Then we have fiction, a pocket anthology. And then this, also from a friend, This I also stole from a friend that I spent a semester with in Chicago. Hello, it's me, the girl who doesn't introduce herself. It's been probably 2 months, and I have realized that I'm not going to say lost, because it was definitely me who accidentally deleted the second half of the footage for my TBR. I'm going to be real, I almost scrapped the video, but everybody needs a shitty first video, so I'm going to finish it now. This is general adult fiction, Alias Grace by Margaret Atwood. I got this because the Netflix show was so good. The Invention of Wings by Sue Kidd. I got this because, what's her book? Bees. Telling Bees. Bud Not Buddy by Christopher Paul Curtis. The Woman in White by Wilkie Collins. Everything I Never Told You by Celeste Ng. The History of Love by Nicole Krauss. The Year of Pleasures by Elizabeth Berg. Away by Jane Urquhart. The Circus in Winter by Kathy Day. Blue Angel by Francine Prose. Schoolhouse by Mark Neeson. The Daughters of Mars by Thomas Keneally. Author of Schindler's List. Rising Stories by Don LePan. This was a gift from my University English department when I graduated. The Summer We Fell Apart by Robin Antelek. Telling the Bees. This one is by Peggy Hesketh. Harvard Square by Andre Osman. The Soul Thief by Charles Baxter. I Capture the Castle by Dottie Smith. Reading Lolita in Tehran by Azar Nafisi. Sorry to Disrupt the Peace by Patty Yumi Cottrell. The Curious Incident of the Dog in the Nighttime by Mark Hayden. And The Rotters Club by Jonathan Coe. Half Brother by Kenneth Opel, where I'm pretty sure they literally adopt an ape, which is very exciting to me. The Secret of Lost Things by Sheridan Hay. The Rule of Four by Ian Caldwell and Dustin Thompson. West of Sunset by Stuart Onan. I don't remember exactly, but this has something to do with Fitzgerald, which is very cool to me. Dare I try? General fiction, folks. Next, let me collect my life. Next we have YA LGBT If I Was Your Girl by Meredith Russo. The Gentleman's Guide to Vice and Virtue by Mackenzie Lee. I know this is like a hugely talked about thing, but luckily what's in here? Well, when the world is coming to an end, what are you going to do? Join it. Jerry About Eating Asparagus. What? Forever for a Year by B.T. Gottfried. History Is All You Left Me by Adam Silvera. I haven't read any of his books. I also have They Both Die at the End. I have a feeling I'm going to like them whenever I get to them. I don't know why I haven't yet. Juliet Takes a Breath by Gabby Rivera. What They Always Tell Us by Martin Wilson. Both of Me by Jonathan Friesen. Leon Offbeat, Becky Albertalli, and Even Fall by Liz Mikulski. Then we have General YA. Okay, so A Crack in the Line by Michael Lawrence. 13 Moons by Charles Fraser. You Don't Know Me by David Class. I've tried to read this a couple of times unsuccessfully because I think the whole thing is in second person. So just a different mindset to be in. Looking for Alibrandi, Melina Marchetta. Point by Thomas Blackhorn. Looks very stabby. Nina, Adolescence by Amy Hassinger. Fish in a Tree by Linda Mullally Hunt. Blazed by Jason Myers. The Rules of Survival by Nancy Werlin. Mind Blind by Jennifer Roy. Twisted by Lori Halse Anderson. Eye Contact by Cami McGovern is, I'm pretty sure it's about an autistic kid who is the only one that knows anything about these children going missing, and so it's about them trying to communicate with him in a way that's effective for the way his mind works to be able to solve the case. And then The Everything Box by Richard Cadre. And then we have this beautiful stack, which is 10 books. These are my anticipated 5-star reads, and I was originally going to include that in this video, but I've decided to make it its own video because that's what a lot of other booktubers do, and they totally deserve it, and I am intimidated by this stack. So that's what these guys are. Stay hydrated, kids. Okay. Well, that's it for my TBR, and when I say that's it, I mean this many books. Too many. That's why I'm on a book ban this year. Gotta read what I already have. So, let me know down below. Tell me if there's any books you feel really strongly about. Either way, I love... sounds bad if I say I love to hate on books, but I love a good discussion about why a book was less than adequate. I might read it faster if I see a comment and I'm like, yeah, I have to see why this was so bad, or I have to see why this was so good. There's no way I'm gonna get... some people could, but I can't get through these in a year. I'm pretty sure I mentioned that I read 15 books last year, which it was my first year out of college, so it's a very transitionary year. I'm not like upset about it. It was the first time in my entire life that I only had... the only things I have to read are the things that I choose. Like, nobody's making me read anything else. So clearly I did not handle that well. But my goal this year was... it was going to be 30, because I was like, okay, that's a little more than one a week, which I can totally do. And then I read... I think when I started filming this, I had read 5 books, and it was still January. Well, I read 6 books in January, 6 books in February, and we're halfway through March now, and I'm about to finish my 3rd book. So if I stay on this pace, 6 books a month, then I could read 72 books in a year, which is... it sounds insane. So I upped my goal of 50, and I might be able to finish 2/3 of these, which would be awesome. Alright, see you in the next one.